Humanity almost vanished forever. And it happened before recorded history. Yes, almost disappeared. Scientists believe our population crashed to astonishingly low numbers, a decline so extreme it still shocks researchers. The story begins on a very different Earth. Soon, something would change the planet dramatically. 70,000 years ago, humans were slowly spreading across the world. Our species was expanding into new territories. Then, nature prepared one of history's greatest disasters. This volcano was unlike anything humans had ever seen. Could one disaster nearly erase humanity? Ash started filling the sky for thousands of miles. The effects spread far beyond the eruption itself. Then, the world grew darker. At that time, humans lived in small, scattered tribes. Most people never traveled far from their birthplace. Our species, Homo sapiens, they looked surprisingly similar to us today, and somehow they survived what came next. Small groups wandered across enormous, untamed landscapes. Their survival depended entirely on nature. Most groups were surprisingly tiny. Humans were scattered and rarely connected. The population density was extremely low. The biggest clue came from our genes. Researchers noticed something very unusual, a phenomenon called a genetic bottleneck. Genetic diversity suddenly became extremely limited. Something terrible had happened. Many scientists point to one possible culprit, an eruption beyond anything in human experience, the Toba supervolcano. Then it exploded with unimaginable force. Ash spread across huge portions of Earth. Entire regions were buried beneath volcanic ash. The environment changed almost overnight. A volcanic winter may have followed. Less sunlight meant colder conditions worldwide. Temperatures may have fallen for years. Plants struggled to grow beneath the darkened skies. Food became harder and harder to find. Every day became a fight for survival. Small tribes struggled through harsh and uncertain years. Some estimates suggest humanity became dangerously scarce. Only the most resilient groups managed to keep going. Some regions may have remained livable refugees. Some theories suggest fewer than 10,000 survived. If true, humanity came frighteningly close to collapse, a classic example of a population bottleneck. But how could scientists know this happened? The answer lies hidden inside our genes. DNA carries clues from the distant past. Human genetic diversity suddenly narrows in the record. That's exactly what a bottleneck should look like. But science rarely gives simple answers. Some researchers disagree with parts of the theory. The debate is still not fully settled. Was it mainly the eruption, climate, or both? The real answer may involve several factors together. Eventually, the environment began recovering once again. The surviving groups adapted and rebuilt their lives. Against incredible odds, they survived. Then humans began spreading across the world again. Their descendants would eventually reach every continent, and from those survivors, everything else would follow. Tools improved, communities grew, civilization slowly emerged. All of this depended on one surviving lineage. Countless possibilities disappeared. One path continued. A tiny surviving population shaped future humanity. Every achievement came from those survivors, including every technology we depend on today. Every person alive traces back through that bottleneck. Billions of people share this ancient story, from a tiny population to billions worldwide. Today, it's easy to forget how fragile humanity once was. Everything around us began with those survivors. But there's a twist. Not every scientist agrees with this story. The evidence is strong, but not conclusive. The real answer may involve several factors together. Some researchers point toward climate changes instead. Others think problems started before Toba erupted. Science changes as new evidence appears. Each discovery adds another piece to the puzzle. The complete picture is still being assembled. So why does this ancient story matter today? Because every person alive is part of that story. Statistically, your existence is astonishing. Every generation survived long enough to have descendants. One broken link, and you wouldn't be here. They survived disasters, hunger, predators, and uncertainty. In a way, those survivors are still here. Their story became your story. Their decisions shaped a future they would never see, and that future eventually became us. Think about how unlikely this chain truly is. Millions of chances existed for history to end differently. Yet one path continued. Out of countless possibilities, one future survived. A single line connects the past to you. Most of us never think about this connection, but their story still lives inside every person. Against all odds, they made it. And because they did, billions exist today. A tiny group became the modern world. History isn't just about the past, it's the reason you're here right now. Everything had to go right. One missed step could have changed everything, yet the chain never broke. Their journey didn't end, it became ours. This isn't someone else's story, it's your story. A story written across thousands of generations. From a few survivors came the modern world, and the story is still continuing today. Future generations will continue that chain. 70,000 years later, their survival echoes through every life alive today. You exist because they survived.